And recording is working. Yeah. Golly gosh. Alright, recording is working. That's awesome. This new encoder with a new video card has been great. It's allowed me to do things in higher quality, 1080p, recording and streaming at the same time. Golly gosh, it's so great. But welcome to the channel. This is going to be the review for Elder Scrolls Online. Yes, I am a noob, and yes, this is uber late to be doing a review. This is just a day one review. What I do is I do playthroughs, and I do a live review at the end of every playthrough on my Twitch channel, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Not every night is a review, not every night is a playthrough. Sometimes we do multiplayer games, so it does change up from time to time. So if you want to come by, join us Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays on Twitch. Or if you want, just stay on YouTube. I'll be trying to do more and more videos there as well in the coming future. So, yeah, whatever you like, as long as you hit like, if you want to. Alright, so the day one impressions of this game, what level did I get up to? I got up to level 6. If you haven't played Elder Scrolls Online before, it is an MMORPG in many facets. It has a little bit more of the, you know, people will say RPG aspects, a little more of the Elder Scrolls style aspects where what you do will, you know, be conducive to whatever you're going to level, such as, you know, gear, weapons, everything, you know. There's a lot more to it. So, a little bit of my backstory is I played World of Warcraft for many years. I played Star Wars: The Old Republic for many years. Well, really like 3 years on Star Wars: The Old Republic. Then I also played WildStar. So, I've played a lot of MMOs in my life, but a lot of the World of Warcraft style MMOs in my life. Whereas, this definitely is on a different path than World of Warcraft, SWTOR, or WildStar. It is a lot more. There's so many more options. There's a lot more uniqueness from what I can see so far in, like I said, how you're leveling. Very Skyrim-esque, how what you're doing is leveling what you're you know, maybe gonna want to be leveling into. It is a little bit confusing as per abilities and everything, but I was informed during the stream that you can reset all these things later on in the game, and it gets up to the point where someone mentioned to me over 500 skill points I have, you know, so there is a lot of skill points. So I'm not stressing on what I'm unlocking here or whatever I'm doing here. It doesn't really matter to me, but there is quite a few things here. Now, what you will also notice is this is not like, you know, like I said, the World of Warcraftian style MMO, because you do only have 5 abilities here. So it's definitely, even though this is really complex and there's so many options for you to have here, it does kind of get a little bit tougher when you technically only have, you know, 5 abilities to be able to do. I can't do my attack abilities here because this is a Skyrim style game and I will piss off the guards, and I don't feel like paying gold on that. No, no, no. I will pass on that. But yeah, for day one, I mean, we saw the main areas. If we look at the map here, we got here. How do I zoom out? There we go. So this is the starter zone pretty much. I kind of went from there to here, went up a little bit here. We got some quests. Now, one thing I don't really like about the game is kind of the quest mapping. I do kind of like a simpler quest mapping. Now, you know, in time when I get used to the map and everything, I'm sure I'd be okay with it. But in Skyrim as well, I didn't like the quest mapping on there too. In fact, when I did my playthrough of Skyrim back in the day, I pissed off quite a few people with the way I do quests. Like in World of Warcraft, if I see an exclamation point, I'm picking up that exclamation point. And if you don't know what that is, that's the quest givers. They'd have an exclamation point over their heads. No, they'd have question mark. My bad. Or was it an exclamation point? You know, I can't remember now. It's been too long. I played Warlords of Draenor. That was the last one I played. But I didn't play it long. It was a question mark. That's right. The exclamation point was for, like, NPCs to unlock things like flight paths and stuff like that. So there's a question mark that would pop up, and then You know, so I'd go to all those, pick up all the quests I could. So I'd have like, you know, 20 quests for an area, if possible. You know, usually it'd be around, you get like 8 quests or something, 10 quests in an area, and it'd be like all over here. So all the quests would be in this one area, and boom, you can banging them out one after another, bang, 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 bang. And then you go back to the quest givers that you went to, and then pick up all your loot, bada bing. Now you move on to the next area, and then that'll give you quests in that area. Like, it was a little bit more, you know, kind of linear in a way. But it was more like when you'd finally come back after like 2 hours of just questing in an area, enjoying the world, doing your things, you know, you come back to hand in these quests. It was so satisfying at that point. It was so satisfying, you know, and you'd get so much gear and money and stuff. Like, it was great. Whereas in this, it's kind of like I went out here to do a quest, and then, like, you know, I could have gone over here and then up there, you know. But the way the quests are and everything, it's not like I had a quest to hand in here in town, but for some reason, since I didn't have the right one tracked, it led me to a person to show me where my penthouse is, instead of the quest person to hand in the quest I just finished. You know, it wasn't showing both of them, you know. So it's definitely not as smooth of a system, you know, as, you know, what I got in World of Warcraft, even Star Wars The Old Republic, and even WildStar. Excuse me. Let me drink. 1 second. Much better. Alright, so that's like, that was one thing initial for day one that I noticed that I do think could be better. I don't know if there's like mods or stuff you can get for this game. You know, like even WoW has mods to make that game even better. And it does need mods, you know. So, I'm new to how to play this game. I'm new as well. I'm actually doing a review. If you want to share your thoughts about the game, I'm doing a quick end of stream review here about this game. So questing out of the way, now we can talk about like the gear system. So to equip and go through items here. One thing I kind of didn't like I do like that you can see instantly what it's compared to, but it's kind of like, instead of like left clicking, like you got like equip, you know, and then it doesn't instantly, like sometimes when you have a lot of gear, sometimes it doesn't put that piece that you just put in like exactly back where it was, or show you like a sign that it was somewhere else. So like, let's say, imagine I right click apples here and I hit equip, but alphabetically ordered, it shouldn't pop up here, it's gonna pop up somewhere down here. So you equipped, and then boom, it like pops up somewhere way down there, you know. I'm more so used to, yet again, the World of Warcraft system where you have the little bags in each slot, so a slot in the bag. So when you're dealing with, you know, inventory, instead of a scrolling list like this, you're dealing with your actual bag and the 60 slots in that bag. So when you switch something, it's switching with that individual slot that you're switching your gear with. And I find it to be a little bit simpler than, you know, this menu here of, you know, all these different things, you know. Like, I mean, if I can only carry 60 things, that's like, in World of Warcraft, we're at the point, I think now you can have, I want to say 40 slot bags? So each bag has like 40 slots in it, you know, and you could have like 6 bags. So you could have a lot of items on you, you know. So this being 60, and I'm pretty sure you can expand it in the future. I don't think it needs to be as like as confusing as something like this, you know. I kind of like the direct kind of system of dealing with stuff with the bags a little bit more. I find with these, I'm like kind of, you know, which one is it in? Like, I just hit bags and I see everything I own. I know what bags for what, and like I can find so much faster. Then like you got currency and stuff. You got quick slots. So quick slots are another ability you have. So instead of just the basic 5 abilities, you have 5 abilities. You have an ultimate ability, and then you can have your quick slot abilities. So such as like healing items and stuff. But you can at any time kind of go into your quick slot. Where did I put it? Here. You can go into your quick slot and then choose an item there, and then bang. Now it's on my quick slot, and there, I just popped it with one button. You can see there on the bottom left of the abilities. And then R is going to be the ultimate ability there from what I'm assuming. So you get the 5 abilities plus an ultimate and then your quick slot. It's not the most intensive of abilities, but there's definitely complexity in the fighting. But I think over time, as things get more and more complex, you're going to have to kind of counteract things with your passives, your unlocked abilities, and everything. Because there are some things in the unlocks that I was seeing. Was it here? So yeah, Highborn, Expression. No, that wasn't it. When you activate a class ability, that one wasn't it. There was a class here. Healing Factor and Restoration abilities. There was something that would make me not get stunned as bad or something. So I can't find it now. But there were things that would make me not be as stunned as bad. You know, but so everything here has passive abilities to it. So as long as you're leveling up things, 14, 39, you know, you're figuring, like earlier I was getting told over 500 skill points in someone's build. You know, you're going to be able to get a lot of passives. So I think in time, that'll help with, like, the complexity of stuns and stuff like that, you know. That I was running into some issues with stunning classes. But this game definitely has complexity in the movement. So you can roll, and you can see you got that stamina bar there, like a normal, like, Skyrim stamina bar. But you have a little more movement abilities. And then when you're also fighting, you could shield, and then you can attack with your weapon. So even though I'm a spellcaster, I could shield and I can attack. And I got my heals here, so I can heal myself and others. You know, I always like going healers. But so far, initial thoughts on the fighting, you know, coming from things like Wildstar especially, which I think had more complex fighting than even like World of Warcraft and Star Wars The Old Republic. And they do have, you know, when you get into the raids, they had more complex fighting. But Wildstar, especially in the raids, with all of the ability areas and the conals and the circles, and then, you know, it had a much more variance of things you'd have to do. And it also had kind of the roll ability. So I'm kind of waiting to see what later fighting's going to have. Because if you really think about it in World of Warcraft, you know, let's say you're Resto Druid. You're really rotating like 4 or 5 abilities most of the time. And then you got like your debuffs and like maybe another ability you might be throwing in there. So you're not using like all 25 of your unlocked abilities or more, you know. You're really just using like maybe 5. So, you know, the fact that this game doesn't have that many doesn't fully worry me, but as of right now, I mean, it is early game, so right now in early game, it's seeming kind of simple in comparison, you know. I mean, Skyrim in and of itself for me wasn't the most complex of fighting games, but it was fun, and the fighting in this so far is fun. Targeting wise, a little wonky for me. I mean, I keep on saying it. I'm used to, wow, you have focus targeting. So you click a target, you attack that target, you know. Whereas in this, you're kind of like always just, you're aiming, kind of like a first-person shooter, you know. So you do, in a way, have to aim, but oddly, it didn't seem like, once like a target would turn red. Let me see if I can run out of town really quick and attack something without pissing off the locals, you know. Here we go. So, see, I attack that and then it glows. Now, that thing dies really fast, so I can't really show you fully. Let's head out this way. You know, if there's multiple targets, it'll make a target glow, and I haven't really noticed. Let me know in the comments or live in the chat here if there's a way to do this, but I find sometimes my abilities don't attack the target I want it to. Like, if I want to hit one target with one ability, the next target with another ability, you know, and so on and so forth, it doesn't seem to kind of work, you know. So let's see if I can, I'll aggro these two. So let's say I want to attack him, so I gotta wait for him to turn red there. And if I'm attacking him, but I want to keep on attacking the back guy with my abilities, see, it's a little bit hard, you know, like the targeting for me, a little bit. See, like, I just hit the front guy with the main part of that ability there, you know. I don't know, I find it a little bit wonky. I'm more so used to, like I said, the WoW, you know, of click targeting. So that was a little bit odd for day one, but I think in time, as I get more abilities, more passives, and more used to the game, that'll be a different scenario, you know. So I'm not too stressed out about that. I'll give that time and whatnot to kind of get better at things and everything. Give him a little heal there before he goes, you know. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, that's really all I'm thinking of so far. I mean, the game is pretty beautiful. Over here, I'm getting 44 frames a second, but that's because I'm recording to my hard drive while doing this review. So I'm like maxing out the CPU of streaming in 1080p, playing the game, and recording a hard drive. And I have this game set to high, so you know, it's pretty good 43 for that. The game runs, you know, pretty okay. Not too shabby, even when I am maxing out the CPU by doing something like this. You see, we're not really going down too far. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything for day one. I don't want to get too crazy here and go over 20 minutes. So I think I'll leave it at that. So check out day two. That's the initial thoughts, and we'll see if it changes in a few days. Playing it for free right now till April 3rd, so, you know, well, not till April 3rd, but for the weekend before April 3rd. And we'll see how far we get in the game. We see what we experience. Yeah, we'll give it a go. All right, enjoy. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, all that jazz if you want to. And let me know what you think of the game, what your thoughts were. And feel free to inform me if things change in future in the game or whatnot. Like, this is just day one live thoughts, you know. So I'm definitely open to start up the conversation here about the game, learn about the game, and especially if you've played things like WoW, SWTOR, WildStar. I'd love to know the comparisons and, you know, how raiding works, how dungeons might work. I hear there's one open PvP area. I'd love to hear about that. Just love to hear about the game. And even, you know, servers too. It's another thing I wonder about. So tell me about servers. How do servers work? And WoW, you have all these different servers. I don't know. Like in this, like if someone plays, does it not matter? Is there all one server? You know, and people, as long as you invite each other to a group, you can play. You know, so let me know. Let me know. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Like, comment, subscribe, and follow if you dare.